Perfect. Cool. All right, so welcome to Essential Oils 101 online class. I'm really excited that you guys are here tonight so I can share with you something that I'm super passionate about, integrating essential oils into your life, basically to discover the healthiest version of you and to replace all kinds of things in your life, from cleaning products to beauty products, elevating your emotional well-being. It really is endless with essential oils. And if it's something that you're quite new to, you might be wondering how all of this could work for you and how you could kind of integrate it into your life, and what's the hype about essential oils if you've been seeing them around. So essential oils can be an access point into the most abundant version of your life, in all forms: physical, emotional, financial. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys tonight. So, cool. So who am I? My name is Jess. I'm the founder of the Bennett Like Pretzel community. I'm a yoga and a meditation teacher by qualification. I've also studied a few other things. I'm a doTERRA essential oils coach and a business coach as well. I also coach women on intuitive eating, and I'm a single super mum of two really young girls, Avi and Millie. You can see on the screen here how you guys can get in contact with me. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram. You can email me, and I've got a YouTube account going as well. If you guys have any questions over the course of the class, you can use the chat function to submit them, and then I'll hopefully be able to get to them during Q&A at the end of the class. There's no such thing as a silly question, so if there's something you're unsure of, pop it in the chat box. It won't, that'll pop through to me. And if you think of questions later, you can shoot me an email or a message on Facebook. So in this class, the first thing that I want to cover off is why it is time for you to say yes to your self-love and your self-care, and what that means. So there are a lot of buzzwords in there, and I want to break that down for you. I also want to cover off what essential oils are and why you would even want to use them, why quality matters, and why I personally choose the brand doTERRA, and I'm super proud to be partnered with them, and how to create a healthier home, body, and emotional state with oils. So first, a little disclaimer: I am not a doctor. I personally believe that there is a place for both natural and Western medicine, and I am really grateful for both. This information that we're covering off tonight is not intended as medical advice. So if you have any questions about if you're taking any medications or anything like that, please always check with your doctor first. And you can check back in with me, and I can point you in the direction if you're looking for more information and science behind things with the oils as well. So how my oils journey began. So you can see here on the screen a picture of me with my two young girls, Avi and Millie. And the time that essential oils came into my life, I was going through a really big personal shift. So my relationship was breaking down, which, as I'm sure you can imagine, was a really challenging time for me, and I was becoming a single mum. And I'd been introduced to essential oils by a dear friend of mine who has a doTERRA business of her own. And initially I was super skeptical. I had heard about doTERRA. doTERRA is a network marketing company, for want of a better phrase, and I just wasn't interested. I just felt like I didn't know a lot about it, but I thought that it really didn't align with who I was. So I pretty much ignored the information that she provided me for at least 6 months, before I kind of came back to her when I felt that the time was right for me. Basically, I was looking to these oils for emotional support. I'd heard about aromatherapy and aromatic benefits of oils and how they work with your limbic system and this is really well studied, how smells affect our brains. So I was looking for emotional support with the oils, and I certainly got that in some moments of really deep grief and heartbreak, the oils provided me so much comfort. Especially my favorite all-time oil has got to be lemon essential oil. It is nature's happy oil. It's wonderful at driving out kind of lower vibration feelings, raising the vibe. It's a happy oil. And so in moments when I was really struggling, I literally would just take the cap off my lemon essential oil, give it a sniff, and I was skeptical before, but yeah, the benefits, these oils just really supported me. They also supported my girls. So my daughter Millie has always had really horrible reflux. She was medicated for quite a few months. So it was at that level. And yeah, now I manage it using one of the doTERRA blends called Digest Zen, which has peppermint and clove and a few other things in there. It's really soothing. So I rub that on her feet and on her belly if she has an upset tummy, which is quite frequently. And the first time I tried this on her, I was so amazed. She was laying on her back and she was pulling her knees up. She was really upset. And I rubbed this oil on her belly in a clockwise motion. And she kind of just put her head to the side, her whole body relaxed, and she fell asleep on her back. And she's normally 100% tummy sleeper. So I was like, is this a joke? Yeah, I was absolutely blown away. So I guess the point that I'm trying to make is it's wonderful to have things that smell great and can support you emotionally, but it's also really wonderful to have things that actually work therapeutically. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. So before we go any further, I mentioned this kind of briefly, but yeah, saying yes to self-love and care, what does that even mean? So what that means to me is basically just making the choice to feel good. And I believe that it is a choice in every moment that we all can make, what our emotional state is, how we're feeling, and what we want to call in to support what we want to create. So happiness is a journey, not a destination. And I really believe that we can all choose to feel happy right now in this moment with whatever our situation is. So saying yes to self-love and care is also choosing a higher vibe life and knowing that you are worthy of it. So this is a huge one for me. I can so relate to this, feeling like we aren't good enough, we aren't ready enough, we aren't whatever enough for the life that we're craving. So yeah, always choosing love over fear whenever we can possibly remember to, having a vision for how you want your days to look and feel, noticing things that aren't in line with your vision for yourself and lovingly letting those things go. And you might be thinking, okay, yeah, that all sounds great, but how do I tangibly do that? So there are some awesome tools, things like meditation, things like essential oils, such a powerful mood shifter. Awareness, mindfulness, tools that carve out time consistently in our day to bring our awareness back to what we want to focus on, what we want to create, and being consistent with that whenever we can. So making it part of your day, part of your life, choosing that higher vibe life. And I believe that true wealth is living in alignment with your soul's purpose, knowing your worth and allowing yourself to step into your power as the best version of yourself. Like, can it get any better than that? Yeah. And how can essential oils support you in that journey? I also believe that self-care isn't a luxury. So that might be, initially that was what I thought. I didn't kind of understand what role essential oils could play in my life and really how much they could be replacing all of these toxic things in my home and in my life for me, so that I was actually saving money in healthcare and also even just in direct product comparisons most of the time. So we're directed in an airplane emergency to first put your own oxygen mask on before you help anybody else, including children. And I think the same is true for filling up our own cups, doing things to make ourselves feel full of life and happiness so that we can share that with others. Because if we're running on empty and we're not taking care of ourselves, we're just not in a place of being able to be of any use to anybody else, including children or partners, teammates at work, if you're a manager. So I think it's so important to be putting that focus on yourself and things that make you feel good yourself and healthy and vibrant before you're able to be serving others. There's also a saying that you probably heard of, 99% of all illness is related to stress. So at the root of everything, I believe, is an emotional component, that stress component. And so what can we bring into our life to start to bring that stress level down? And just a little question to ask: who do you want to be for your children, your partner, your team? What do you want to look back at the end of your life and celebrate, and what will you treasure? And what shifts can you take to start moving towards that life? So what are essential oils? So basically they're pure extracts from plants, and they're 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. So if you're someone who's into natural health already and you've tried things like herbs, even maybe herbal teas, essential oils are like herbs supercharged. They're volatile aromatic compounds, and they are nature's defense mechanism for plants and cells. So you can see there on that little picture, that's the peppermint leaf. And then to the right, that's a blown up picture of a droplet of oil. So it's actually protecting the peppermint leaf. And so it's said that essential oils have that same protective and healing property for our bodies when we use them. Essential oils are not new. They've been used anciently throughout history for health benefits, and they are highly concentrated. So this is probably the best value for money kind of thing if you're into that kind of thing. 1 drop of peppermint essential oil equals 28 cups of peppermint tea when it comes to effectiveness and health benefits. So that's huge. They are safe, they're effective, they're affordable. Most applications use only 1, maybe 2 drops. So these oils are going to last you, depending on what they're for, like something like lemon or peppermint, but you might be using more regularly. But something like oregano, I mean, that bottle might be lasting you 5 years based on what you need it for. So essential oils, good quality ones, are slow steam distilled or cold pressed for citrus oils from the plant to yield the highest quality and the most potent oil, and they are multi-use. So you'll find as we go through that one essential oil does so many different things, so they're fabulous. Why quality matters and how to tell what even is good quality. So there are no governing bodies for essential oils. So that means there's no one regulating essential oils. The FDA only requires essential oils to be 70% pure, and they don't even have to list everything that's on the ingredients. So if you're wanting to use essential oils as prevention for disease or for daily self-care, you're probably going to want to be using the best quality oil possible. Cheaper oils are often diluted, grown with pesticides and herbicides, and they're extracted from the plant using solvents, so they're not the steam distilled and cold pressed. Voting with your dollar is a big thing as well, why quality matters. So if you're someone like me, maybe wanting to support sustainable practices for the betterment of the earth and the environment, then the quality of the oil is going to have a correlation with that as well. Cheaper oils are typically grown in mass crops, greenhouses. They might be localized to one location, maybe where those plants are not growing indigenously. And from a biodynamic perspective of soil health and that kind of thing, we know that monocropping and all of that just doesn't work for longevity. So only wild or indigenous sourcing can be sustainable. Cheaper oils produced synthetically in labs, essentially, if you're looking at a living food, if you're into raw foods or that kind of thing, essential oils produced in labs are essentially dead. So they might mimic the compounds, but they don't have that life force that something coming from a plant is going to have. So if you're looking at deciding whether something's a good quality oil, the questions to ask are: where are they coming from? Who's producing them? How are they tested? What exactly are in the bottles? And can you even trust the company that you're buying from to tell you what's in the bottles? Do you know that they're safe? And are they working for you? So lots of people have maybe eucalyptus oil or maybe lavender oil in their cupboard. Maybe they've picked it up from the chemist, and it might be useful for kind of scenting the room or smelling nice. But in terms of being for therapeutic use, would you trust, ingesting that oil like you can with something like doTERRA, or applying it to your skin? So for lots of the things that you can use oils for, you want to be making sure that they're actually safe and good quality. Just a little bit more on the quality. So these are the 4 grades of essential oils. So synthetic for perfume and industrial use. So most of essential oils in perfumes are synthetic, so produced in a lab. They're a food grade, they're a therapeutic grade, and then there is doTERRA's grade called CPTG. So because there's no governing body, doTERRA actually created their own 7 levels of super thorough testing. And if that's something you're interested in, I can link that to you afterwards. They involve third parties, and it's basically the most thorough testing that exists on the market today. So why doTERRA? So I've touched on a few little things, but basically the reasons that I choose doTERRA are these. They are the purest and most potent essential oils on the market today, hands down. They're sourced indigenously from around the globe. So wherever the plants are abundant and thriving, that's where doTERRA goes to source the oils from. But they don't just go in there and take the oils or rape the land, for want of a better phrase. doTERRA partners with local farmers and they form a co-op. So they call that co-impact sourcing, and that is something that's unique to doTERRA, and that is probably my number one why I chose doTERRA. So basically co-impact sourcing is probably self-explanatory, but for example, lavender is best grown in France. So doTERRA partners with local farmers in France, and they improve communities. They support those local farmers. They pay them more than a fair wage. So that's the biggest thing, improving communities and leaving places better than when they found them, and working on things like sustainable practices and creating the most potent oils. And these farmers are people who've been farming these plants and herbs and fruits and vegetables for generations. So this is their bread and butter. And that's something that I feel so good about with doTERRA, is that that I'm voting with my dollar in that I'm not just feeding into a corporation, that I'm actually exchanging money for someone's livelihood, like a local farmer in France, and you can learn more about who you're actually buying from with doTERRA. So yeah, I love that when I'm opening a bottle, just thinking about where did this come from? Like, whose hands crafted this oil? Like, and I just love that they get compensated fairly for that. So doTERRA offer a lot of pure and simple solutions for everyday uses, so essential oils and some other products which I'll introduce you to as well. They have the super thorough CPTG certified testing. With doTERRA, it's like this amazing wellness community just waiting to embrace you. They have ongoing support and education. So you're always learning about new ways to use the oils and recipes, and there's Facebook groups and all that kind of thing as well. They have an amazing loyalty program for regular users to constantly be earning free product and oils. As I said, a massive global wellness community ready to embrace you. So you can see on that little picture a little map of where the different herbs and plants and fruits and vegetables are sourced from, and who doTERRA partners with, just in that little globe picture. And that's just a larger version of that, but we'll keep moving. So why would you even want to use oils over synthetics? So I've probably covered this off already, but just to make it super clear, there are some really big benefits to using a natural essential oil over a synthetic cleaning product or even a synthetic oil. So there's the health benefits. If you're looking to reduce your toxic load, this is an amazing way that you can do that. Cost benefits. So most times essential oils use only 1 or 2 drops per application. And with those 1 or 2 drops, you can do endless things, which we're going to dive into soon. But basically, it's a really big cost saver. I've replaced all of my high-end skincare, which was costing me hundreds a month, with simple DIY recipes that I've made myself. And my skin looks better than it did when I was spending hundreds. Something natural like essential oils is sustainable to the environment, which we've talked about, and it's convenient. These little bottles, you can carry them around with you. If you get a headache, dabbing some peppermint essential oil on your temples or behind your ears, on the back of your neck. And they're safe as well. They're effective and they're affordable, as you can see in the middle. So essentially, if we have something coming up for us health-wise, there are two paths we can take. There's the medical path and there's the natural path. And as I said at the beginning of the class, I believe that there's a place for both. But really, the medical system was more designed for emergency response and to support acute illness. It's not really equipped to support us in prevention and supporting longer-term chronic illness. So that's where I think we need to start looking to other alternatives like natural medicine and things like essential oils to be providing that support for our bodies, rather than looking to things like medicine, the overuse of antibiotics. We know that's becoming a huge problem. So how can we, if we can, first look to a natural solution? So how to use essential oils? There are lots of different ways, but probably the most common, and if you're looking to get started, where you would start would be internally. So these oils, they're listed on the bottle. Most of them you can actually ingest for the health benefits. You can add a drop to water, you can add it to your cooking. It nourishes your whole body, including your digestive system. And yeah, they're clearly labelled. There are a couple that are not recommended to be ingested, but they're clearly labelled. You can apply the oils topically. So when you apply the essential oils to the bottom of your feet, it's been tested that they'll reach your bloodstream in 30 seconds. So if you've ever seen those foot detox pads and that kind of thing, it's using that same pathway. So whatever we put on our skin soaks straight in. So it's super important that we're using things that we feel really good about, because our organs, our largest organ, our skin, is absorbing that right in, and you can see it. If you rub cream on, it gets sucked in to our body. So it goes without saying that you're going to want it to be something healthy, probably. Immediate comfort, especially for things like aromatherapy and changing your mood. And we'll talk a little bit about safety in a second. I just got a little note. And my two girls are asleep upstairs. So, and then aromatically is probably the way that most people start using essential oils. So either inhaling, just putting a few drops in your hand and breathing the oils in, or diffusing them through your home, which is a beautiful way to set an intention and set a mood, and also to kill germs in the air. Okay, safety-wise, there's a lot of information as well if you guys did decide to purchase oils on how to use them safely. So basically on sensitive skin, we're going to be wanting to dilute the oils. So usually it's 1 drop to 1 teaspoon of oil. There's a lot of oils that I don't need to dilute on my skin, but I've kind of worked that out over time. So it's a good idea to work that out slowly, because they are so potent, like the peppermint, 28 cups of peppermint tea in 1 drop of essential oil. You just want to be wary of skin irritation and dilute them to make it nice and comfortable. Diluting the oils also increases the surface area on the skin. So for something like peppermint oil, it's making the oil go further. So it's better value as well. So I talked about at the start all the things that you can do with essential oils, and these are some of the things that I get really excited about. So the first one is for self-care, so replacing high-end skincare, perfumes, which are one of the most toxic things that we use on our bodies, and air fresheners in our home too, shampoos, lotions, nail care, with a few simple DIY recipes and a few basic ingredients, so carrier oils and maybe things like castile soap, which are really budget friendly. You can replace all of that. Also for self-care, mood and emotional support. So as I talked about with my own journey, things like grief and anxiety, for increasing concentration. So it's great for school-age kids. Upping your energy, combating depression, tension, headaches and nausea. And I believe that we should only ever use things that we feel really good about using, and there's that placebo effect in there as well. You can use them for cooking, so they dramatically enhance flavour profiles in cooking, so like for stir fries and marinades and smoothies. And 1 to 2 drops is all that you would need for recipes as well. And for cleaning, so this is a big one, like how much toxic stuff are we using in our homes? And I started becoming aware of like what I was wiping my daughter's high chair trays down with, spray and wipe, and what actually is that, because then their food goes on there and then that gets into their bodies. or even contact through their hands. We know that whatever we put on our skin sinks straight into our body. So now I choose to use doTERRA On Guard to clean their high chairs, or just lemon oil. And a little lemon oil story for you as well. I used 1 drop of lemon oil to clean a whole stainless steel splashback, a stainless steel toaster, and the fridge. Like 1 drop of lemon oil, and they were all sparkling. So they're super effective and super efficient. This is doTERRA's Wellness Lifestyle Pyramid, and what is amazing is that essential oils can be used across all 6 of these levels. So you can incorporate them into your food with the cooking. You can use them for exercise support. So a drop of Breathe on the bridge of your nose before taking a yoga class or before exercising really helps to expand your breathing ability and clear your airways. Rest and stress management goes without saying, reducing your toxic load, for self-care and for proactive medical care. So the other thing that I didn't put on that slide is essential oils can basically replace all of your basic first aid as well. Like a friend of mine had an ear infection, and he used lavender and tea tree on little cotton balls in his ears, and it cleared it up. And in that case, he was able to avoid using antibiotics, which is amazing. So the top 10 oils, I am conscious of time, but I want to go through these because this is the bread and butter of doTERRA. So if you're wanting to get started with essential oils, this is where I would recommend you start. So these 10 oils are going to give you everything for a really solid foundation. This is going to replace your cleaning products. You'll be able to use some of these in your cooking. You'll be able to use these for skincare, especially like your lavender and your frankincense, and even your lemon for pigmentation and acne scarring and that kind of thing. So these 10 oils are found in the 2 most common kits as well, which I'll talk to at the end. So the first one is peppermint. So you can use so peppermint is like the pick-me-up oil. So I use this, I'm a single mum of 2 young kids, so I am pretty much tired all the time. So I use peppermint often, like daily. I just take the bottle off, have a sniff, I diffuse it in the air, I put a few drops on my temples or behind my ears. It's great for soothing an upset stomach, if your digestion, if you've eaten something that's not so great. Yeah, and it can be amazing in cooking as well, like using it in chocolate bliss balls, so you get that choc mint flavour, and it's just a really beautiful oil. It smells a little bit like candy cane, so it's just gorgeous to diffuse as well. The next oil is lavender, which is like the mecca of essential oils. Like most people have some form of lavender oil in their home. So lavender, you can, the most common use is probably for anxiety and to help a deeper, more restful sleep. So you can add a few drops to a spray bottle of water and spray them on your pillow before bed. You can diffuse it in your kids' room half an hour before they go to bed to help them calm down, and you can diffuse it during dinner time so that they're starting to unwind towards bedtime. It's awesome for anxiety. So if you're having an anxiety attack, you can literally just put a few drops behind your ears, or you can just open and smell the bottle, and it's so amazing for just bringing your whole nervous system down. Lavender is also great for on the skin. It's really hydrating and it's really calming. So eczema, sunburn, bites and stings, like you name it, you can use lavender on it, and pretty much all skins respond really well to it. The next oil is lemon, which I mentioned is my favorite, and it really is. I love this in a drop of water. I used to do like warm water, even cold water with fresh lemon. And then I read about how that can negatively impact your enamel. So a drop of lemon essential oil, you get that same digestive kind of kick in the morning without the erosion to your enamel, which is amazing. And if you guys are interested in that, I've got an article by a dentist explaining why and how that is. So I can send that to you. I'll send out an email after the class and I'll include that link in there too. Lemon is fabulous for cleaning. If you're someone like me who constantly leaves the washing in the washing machine after it's been on, you can add a drop of lemon essential in there before you either put a rinse cycle on, or if you're going to pop it in the dryer, and it freshens up the whole load. You can use it for cleaning all kinds of surfaces. And yeah, it's also a really great jewelry cleaner. So you can put a few drops in a little bowl of warm water, pop your jewelry in there, leave it in there for 5 or 10 minutes, give it a little clean with a toothbrush, and it's just as good as that store-bought jewelry cleaner, but not toxic. tea tree, which is probably lots of people have tea tree as well. So it's a great spot treatment for any kind of breakouts. It's awesome for cuts because it's got natural antiseptic qualities in there as well. You can add it to citrus drinks. It's safe to ingest. It's also great in a facial cleanser. If you have oily skin, it kind of cuts down the oil. So if you're something that I really love is oil cleansing, and I'm going to send you guys a copy of my ebook called Beauty Oils, which talks a lot about that. So if you're someone who struggles with a lot of acne, tea tree can be great for that. It's also great to eliminate germs. You can pop a few drops in spray bottle and use that as a surface spray as well, or in a combination with like lemon and a few other things. Oregano. So my favorite use for this oil is for cracked heels. So if you're someone who has constantly cracked heels, add a drop of oregano oil into a bit of shea butter or a bit of olive oil or something like that, or even an existing body cream you've got that's not fragranced. Rub that on your heels and it kills any kind of bacteria. If you've got anything kind of fungal going on, it's amazing. Oregano is also great to gargle on a sore throat. So I wouldn't ingest that daily because it is a hot oil. But yeah, if you're feeling bugs kind of coming on, that sore throat, runny nose, gargling a drop of oregano oil is amazing at kind of nipping that in the bud. Frankincense is one of the king oils, especially for skincare and for emotional support. So frankincense drives out kind of any lower vibrations, similar to kind of lemon. It has kind of like a zesty, citrusy, but earthy kind of sacred smell as well. It helps reset your skin cells. It's wonderfully anti-aging. It's great for wrinkles. It's great for teaching skin how to behave normally again. And it's also amazing for meditation and yoga, to pop a few drops in your diffuser while you're practicing to help to create just a more kind of sacred spiritual feel to your practice and help with concentration. On Guard, I mentioned that I clean Abby and Millie's high chairs with this. On Guard comes in a few other options as well, like a laundry liquid, a cleaning concentrate, a hand foam. So this is a protective blend. It's like going to kill all your germs and your nasties. You can gargle with this one as well. And you can put a few drops in a glass of water and soak your toothbrushes as a nice toothbrush cleaner. Easy Air. So I use this a lot. My daughter Abby suffers from eczema and allergies and all of that kind of thing. And she kind of is always sneezing and runny nose. So when that happens to her, I pop a few drops diluted. I rub it all over her back. I rub it on the soles of her feet, and I rub it on the back of her neck so that's not going to get in her eyes and irritate. And it's amazing how quickly that brings that allergic response down. This is a go-to if you have any kind of blocked nose or sinus issues as well. You can diffuse it. You can put a drop on the bridge of your nose before you exercise or do yoga, like I said. And it's also helpful to add it in with lavender for a more peaceful, restful night's sleep. And the last one I believe that I want to talk about is Ice Blue. So this is like a natural version of Deep Heat, for one of a better phrase. I think I'm allowed to say that. But yeah, basically it's great for muscle aches, cramps, anything like that. So this is a natural go-to. It's got wintergreen. So something like Deep Heat or an equivalent has a synthetic version of wintergreen. So this is the natural version, which is even more potent. And also has no side effects, no nasty side effects. Oh, the last one I wanted to mention was Digest Zen, which is the one that I use on Millie a lot. This is great as well if you have an upset tummy. It's got peppermint in there with a few other things as well to support smooth digestion. It comes in the soft gels as well. So this is something you can take internally, either in a glass of water or in the soft gel, so it reaches further down into the gut. If you've eaten something that upsets you, or if you just generally are someone who struggles with your digestion. These are some of the other, I mentioned that doTERRA does other products, and these are some of them that I've listed here, which are just fabulous. So they have a natural whitening toothpaste. I use this, and it's even safe to use on your kids. It's got no fluoride. It's completely non-toxic. It tastes delicious, and it is so effective. My teeth feel sparkling after I use this. So yeah, definitely recommend that one. And when you compare it to other natural toothpaste, it's really reasonable when it price-wise. The oils underneath that are some of the mood oils, which are just really delicious blends of doTERRA essential oils targeted at different things. So right now I have Balance on to keep me nice and scented for my class with you guys. They've got an amazing skincare range called Virage, if you're not into oil cleansing like I am. So super clean ingredients, rave reviews everywhere. Like everyone loves this skincare system. One of the best ones that I've found in terms of natural skincare, and I've tried a lot, trust me. Natural shampoo and conditioner. They also have a hair serum that I haven't included, and their supplements, which you can see on the bottom right, are the bomb. So lots of supplement companies believe that if some is good, then more must be better. And what we see is the body being mega dosed with vitamins and minerals. And you might notice if you've taken these kind of megadose supplements that your urine will be bright yellow, and you can literally see your supplements being flushed down the toilet. So doTERRA takes a bit of a different approach with their supplements. They use whole food supplements so that they're more bioavailable to the body, really easy to absorb. They have a whole range of things from like daily multivitamins, digestive support, probiotics, amazing probiotics, children's supplements for your littles, including they've got an omega-3 supplement, and then a few other supplements targeted towards like cleansing and gut healing and that kind of thing. So really amazing range of supplements. So if you're someone who's using supplements in your daily life already, that might be something that's really exciting to you. So how to get started. So if you're like, okay, cool, like this sounds really good, and this is something that I could see me bringing into my home, into my life. This is something that is going to help me start shifting towards how I want to feel every day. I'm ready to say yes to self-love. If this feels like an aligned way for you to do that, hands down, the best way to start is with a starter kit. So with doTERRA, it operates a little bit like Costco. So you pay a $35 joining fee, and then you access wholesale prices, which is 25% off for a year. So in that time, you get your own little shop front. You can order whatever you want during that time at your leisure, at your convenience, and it ships straight to your door. So the two little kits that I've listed in the pictures here are probably the two most popular ways to start, because they include the top 10 oils. And the Home Essentials kit, which is the one on the bottom, also comes with a diffuser. And at the moment, the one on the top comes with a free Slim and Sassy, or Smart and Sassy oil, which is a metabolic blend with cinnamon and that kind of thing. So it's great for stabilizing blood sugar. It's great to have a few drops in water before an exercise workout, or just to kind of support you, to help you make healthier choices throughout the day. The other thing when you join doTERRA for $35 is you get the option to, it's an additional option, I'll talk about it in the next slide, to join their monthly ordering rewards program, which is called their loyalty rewards program. So with every 50 point value order, and it's roughly $1 for a point, you are eligible to be earning free points back, and it gets incrementally greater the longer that you're on the program, so that you're earning free product every month. And the great thing about being on the LRP program as well, if that's something that speaks to you and it's not something you need to decide straight away, there's definitely no obligation. Your shipping costs also get paid back to you in product points. So you're not getting free shipping, but you're getting points for your shipping. And there's a few other little goodies that you get when you get started as well. Access to the Happy Collective and the Bennett Like Pretzel communities, which is full of amazing guys and girls sharing their oily experiences. And you get a bunch of ebooks too, which is really cool. So this is the loyalty rewards program in a little bit more detail. So you receive up to 30% back in product points. So you can see kind of how it's broken down there in the little chart. You begin earning points with a 50 PV order each month. So you might be thinking that you might not use $50 worth of essential oils a month. But if you're someone who is using supplements, for example, or you're wanting to replace your skincare, or you're wanting to replace your cleaning products, basically you can do all of that with one product. And so maybe something like the Loyalty Rewards program can be an amazing way for you to be getting a lot of that back for free and be covering a lot of the things that you're already using in a natural version for free. With LRP, you get to change it every month as well. You decide what you buy and how much you want to spend each month. So you're never locked in. There's no minimum orders or anything like that. I think to stay on the program, you need to buy something worth $1 or 1 PV basically to stay on there, and then over 50 to be earning your product points. Cool. So if you decide to purchase a kit and start your essential oils journey, start bringing it into your home, there are some other bonuses that you get as well. So you get a 30-minute wellness call with me. So we can hook that up either on the phone, on Skype, we can jump back in here in Zoom, and I'll sit with you for 30 minutes and we'll go through basically what's going on with your health, what's going on with your life, how could you use oils to support you in those things. And it's a chance to ask any questions or anything like that as well. You'll also get a copy of my ebook, Beauty Oils, which talks all about using essential oils for your skin. So replacing high-end skincare. So these oils, they definitely really work. You'll also get a copy of my really good friend Alice's ebook called The High Vibe Life, which has a bunch of recipes for cleaning and cooking. And basically, it's like a little go-to on how to get started with a starter kit of your 10-pack oils. And you'll also get access to the Facebook online communities. If that's something that interests you, you can jump in there and get all kinds of support and inspiration from other people using essential oils. So the last thing that I just want to really briefly touch on, if this is something that calls to you, please let me know and we'll set up a different time to talk about it. But the other thing that's great about doTERRA is that there is an option to build your own business to create your own financial freedom. So without compromising your time, and I want to re-emphasize that, without compromising your time, you can do this in whatever time you have without compromising your ethics. So this is something that I personally, this just lights my soul up, being able to work with people to support their health concerns in this way, especially with skin. You'll have me as your mentor. You get access to class and business building toolkits, all kinds of incentives, weekly coaching calls, all of that kind of thing to make sure that you are successful in growing your own business. So here's where you can find me. I'm on Facebook, email, I've got a YouTube account going, and on Instagram as well. So I update those things with my oily journey. So connect with me on those things. And I'm going to send out an email after this call recapping what we've gone over, and then you'll have my email basically in your inbox. If you have any questions at all, please feel welcome to hit reply and I'll see if I can help you out. Oops, have we frozen? Oh,
you're still there, Jess.
Can you guys still hear me? Okay, yeah, I think you guys can still hear you. For some reason, my screen's frozen. But that's basically what I wanted to go over tonight. Unless anyone has any questions. Whoops, I've just seen something come up in the chat, so I'll have a look. Oh, cool. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, well, no questions. So, oh, hang on. Okay, cool. Yep, you can still hear me. All right, so I've got your email addresses from when you registered. So I'm going to be sending out a few things, including a copy of my ebook for you guys joining in on the class tonight. So you guys will get that one. I'll pop some more information about essential oils. I'll pop in a recipe and a few other bits and pieces. So have a look out for that one. You guys know where to find me. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask. And if you have any specific concerns around, maybe something that's going on with your skin or with your health, and you're wondering how essential oils can support you, you can always book a one-on-one complimentary with me as well if you want to dive in a little bit deeper or ask a few more questions before you go ahead with your oily journey. But yeah, so look out for that email. I'll have more information there on how you can get started. And I'll talk to you soon.